Well, hello there. How are you doing today? Well, today I wanted to jump on board and talk to you specifically about guilt, okay? So it's come to my attention, and I've been really researching the things that stop women, specifically in their 40s, from achieving their body shape change, their weight loss, their lifestyle goals, and guilt is one of the big limitations. So we're going to talk about that today. So as people are joining in live, thank you so very much. I would love to hear from you in terms of whether this is resonating with you. If you think that, this makes sense to you, you can give me a thumbs up. If you're watching this as a replay, let me know by commenting the word replay below, and I will get back to you. I would love to know your comments and suggestions as well, and whether this is something that you're like, oh my goodness, this is something I can totally relate to, because I think that it's definitely a common theme for most females. So if you're joining in live, thank you so very much. My name is Lisa Barwise. I consider myself a kick-ass wellness alchemist. That means that I am the catalyst in the transformation of women around the world, strong of mind, body, and character. I'm the creator of Warrior Goddess Kettlebell Training and the Warrior Goddess Body Shape Change programs as well. And yeah, today we're talking about guilt. So I was reading, it was actually in a women's well-being and health book that I am studying at the moment, and it said that one of the biggest limitations that women face is about guilt. And it's not guilt that always the guilt that you think about, right? It's money guilt, food guilt, mummy guilt, daughter guilt, and work guilt. Okay, so colleague guilt or being a good person. So it's interesting that we have this idea of what a good woman or a good mum or a good, dieter or a good worker should be. And if something comes against that what we tend to do is feel guilty and make bad choices because of that. So, when we need to say no to something, or when we are in a certain situation where we have to make a choice between us and this thing, we're always choosing the thing and then feeling really guilty about it. Or we are making the choices to do something for us, and then we're also feeling guilty about it. In fact, we're just feeling guilty all of the time, okay? Don't know if this relates to you, but I know that this is what happened to me when I was working on creating my business goals, and also when I started to work out regularly at the gym. I felt guilty that I was getting childcare, I was getting somebody to look after my child so that I could go to the gym. So who was I to spend a whole hour working on making me better and making me stronger and making me feel good and confident, and and spending that money and that time away from my children, and I would feel guilty about it. So the time that I spent, especially if something happened, in daycare, if he hurt himself or if something like that happened, you always think, oh, I should have been there, and that's when the guilt starts. Then what happens when we feel guilty, ladies? What happens when we feel guilty? We tend to try to make ourselves feel better in other ways. Right? So we tend to try to, make ourselves feel better by eating certain things, by drinking wine or drinking other things, or medicating in some way, okay? So we make ourselves feel guilty for something that is potentially good for us, and then we feel guilty about it, so to make ourselves feel not guilty anymore, we do something that's bad for us. It's a weird scenario, right? Like, really, think about that. It's just absolutely messed up. So if it's not mummy guilt, which is one of the biggest ones, then it's food guilt. I'm here to tell you, ladies, whether you eat a cake or whether you eat a salad, you are the same wonderful, awesome person, okay? You are not a bad person because you eat cake. Do you know where this actually started? If you've ever watched the original series of The Great British Bake Off, Did you watch it? You would have found out that it was the Puritans, and I think it's around the 1600s, don't quote me, who, when sugar and making cakes and buns with sugar became a very, very luxurious thing that not everybody could afford, but was a treat, they decided that eating cake and having anything with sugar in it made you a bad person. In fact, they equated sugar back then to maybe what we would create the overconsumption of drugs or alcohol now, right? That's where that comes from. So when you eat cake, or you eat sugar, or treat yourself to a bun or something like that, that you feel bad and feel guilt, it's because culturally that's what was decided at one point. How mad is that? How mad is that? Whereas if you actually think about it, there is nothing wrong with consuming the occasional donut or cake or bun or some sugar, especially if you're using that fuel, that extra little bit of sugar, to fuel your day. Okay? So the problem is it stems from not thinking, okay? Not mindfully making decisions for ourselves and having certain standards or certain beliefs that we want to stand up for. Because when it comes to eating, when you know what you're allowed, when you understand food in terms of the in and out of food, okay? So when you understand eating and consuming calories and burning calories, when you understand the amount of calories you need to consume, when you understand your macronutrients, there is no food that's out of bounds. If it fits into your macros and it fits into your calories, you can consume it. The problem is the consumption of that going to deter your goals or not? So if I eat, cupcakes every day, is that going to stop me achieving my goals? Of course it is. If I eat cupcakes every now and again, is that going to stop me from achieving my goals? No, it's not, especially if I pair them with, a leg day workout, or, I have fitted it into my calories, okay? It's the same with having a glass of wine or a gin and tonic or some crisps or a meal out. We need to stop literally shaming and guilting ourselves into thinking that food is bad and eating is bad. You just need to understand the science of it. If I eat this is this many calories, can I fit this into my daily consumption? If it goes over my daily consumption that day, can I just eat less calories in the week if I want to still achieve my goals? That's it. It's science, ladies. It's just science. So the cupcake isn't bad. You're not bad. Nobody here in this scenario is bad. It's just a scientific equation of calories in, calories out. That's it. That is it. Okay? So let's get rid of the shame. Let's get rid of the guilt when it comes to food. And then there's two more that I wanted to talk about. One is also about daughter guilt. So what tends to happen as we come into our 40s, some of us have to care for more elderly parents. This is 100% true. And there is this sense, like give me an emoji or like give me a hands up if you feel this way, that because your parents have raised you up into this point, if they ask you to do something, you have to say yes. Anyone relate to that? And it doesn't matter if it's not in your routine, or it doesn't matter if it's not something that you were planning to do that day, or it knocks your whole entire schedule off. You've got to literally run. And I'm not talking about emergencies. I'm not talking about looking after them in terms of their health, but in terms of, can you take me down to the shops today? Or can you come around and hang my washing up? Or can you do things like that? So again, I'm not saying that you don't want to spend time with your parents and you don't want to be that caretaker, but when it becomes that it's not working and helping you to work towards your goals and to help you to be a better you, why is it not okay to say no? Did you ever ask yourself, why is it not okay to say, no, I can't do this today? I have made this plan for me, and I need to do this for me. So that's the same, okay? So it's really about understanding that you can say no to your mum, to your dad, to your children, to your partner or your husband, because you have goals, you have plans, and why are their plans or their goals more valuable than yours in that moment? Why? Why do we sacrifice that? Why then do we feel guilty about that? Okay? So when you have goals, it's okay to say, I am choosing to do this today for me. Okay? Whether that be, I don't want to go to this restaurant because I can't eat in this restaurant based on the fact that I'm eating a certain plan. Or I need the children to, I need you to look after the kids today because I'm going to do a workout. You need to help me to do that because these are my goals. This is helping me to be a good person. If your mum calls up and says, can you come around and stick a wash on and a load on for me now? You can say, no, I can't do this now because I have a plan to go and work out, or I have a plan to do some cooking, but I can be around tomorrow at 11 or 6 o'clock later on this evening or something. So it's learning that it's okay to say no in certain instances and to not feel guilty about it. because you're prioritizing you. And it's the same with regards to your boss. Normally when it comes to being an employee, there is a fear around whether you're going to get fired or somebody else might want to get your job or anything. But is it true fear? Is it a true fear, or is it a fear that you've made up? Okay? So what would happen if you said no? Like, no, I have plans. In fact, I used to teach believe it or not, confidence and also other affirmation-based work in the workplace and communication in terms of being able to basically stand up for yourself and being able to communicate it. And the thing that they taught was how to say no, literally how to say no. So saying no without being aggressive, being able to stand up for yourself without it coming across as being emotional or angry. And all they said was, no, I can't do this today. I can't stay late today. And you didn't have to give an excuse. You didn't have to say, well, I can't stay late today because I have to go pick up my child or whatever. You just said, no, I can't stay late today. And just left it at that. Because it's not their, if they're asking for more than what your job is, it's not their responsibility. It's not even their, it doesn't, how would I put this in the nicest way? It's not their business, basically, if you aren't doing anything else other than choosing to go exercise or choosing to go home to cook a nice meal, or that you need time off. It doesn't matter that you haven't got something really big planned. It's my friend's birthday. It's my daughter. I have to pick her up from nursery. We make up bigger things that we think are acceptable excuses just so that we can say no, when really no should be enough. Because you do have choice. You're not a bad person if you say no, okay? You're not a bad woman if you say no. You're not a bad mother, a daughter, worker, any of those sorts of things if you say no, because you have the right to say no. And guilt only happens because we wanted to say no and we didn't say no and now we feel guilty. Or we did the thing that we wanted to say we wanted to say no to, and then we did the thing, and then we feel guilty. So here's the question out of all of this. Does a guilty you do better in life than a non-guilty you? I mean, are you more effective in life if you are shaming and beating and punishing yourself because you've made this choice for you? No. We are not more effective in the world if we feel guilt. In fact, it makes us less effective because we're not looking at the world from a positive viewpoint. We're not accepting the choices that we make. We're not noticing the consequences of our choices and therefore growing or developing. And we're definitely not owning that we're making these choices, which are good for us. So next time you feel yourself saying, I'm trying to be good, or I feel so bad, I feel so guilty, I shouldn't have made this choice, I shouldn't have made that. You need to stop shoulding all over yourself and just make the decision of what serves you, by all means taking into account what other people in your life. It's not about you being 100% not listening to other people or being compassionate about others, etc. It's about understanding that it's okay to make those choices and it's okay for you to say no to other things that don't serve you. It's a journey, ladies. I see it time and time again as ladies start to prioritize themselves and prioritize their self-care, their health and their well-being. It becomes quite a big struggle to be able to say, no, I need to do this, or I need the money for this, or I need the time for this. But that is so necessary if you ever are going to really help yourself to be more healthy, to be more fit, and for you to achieve your body shape change and lifestyle goals, which ultimately make you working towards the best version of you. And then you are the role model for all of those people in your life. So I hope this was helpful. If you are somebody who needs help with regards to that, if you need somebody to help you to work on not just your physical development, but also your personal development, this is a lot of what we do in our challenges, in our community-based work. We are here to help help each other to move and to support each other. And that is what makes us different here at Warrior Goddess Kettlebell Training. It's all about community. It's about women supporting women. It's about helping you to be the best version of you, and we're here for you. So I hope that was helpful. I hope to see you all again soon. I'm going to be doing some more videos this week. If you had any specific questions or comments or queries or difficulties and you want some help and advice, do reach out. You can PM me on this page or email me at hello@warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com, and I look forward to helping you out with whatever dilemma you have. But enjoy your Monday and the 1st of April. Peace out.